Back at the X, Mountain Rim Gymnastics taking place as Boise State hosts BYU on senior night. Rotation number 1 in the books. As we move into rotation number 2, it'll be Boise State on bars. It'll be BYU on the vault. And for the Cougars, they've had 2 straight weeks of scores over 49 on the vault after 4 straight of 48. So again, we talk about that improvement, talk about growing throughout the season. That's exactly what BYU has done on that apparatus.
Exactly, yeah, they're looking to hit that 49. That's kind of the standard right now. You want to at least be at that 49 level. So they're definitely looking to build a bunch off of that first event, and they all look hyped up. I saw the warm-ups looked really, really good. Excited to see what they bring out to the vault.
And the Broncos looking to get back above 49 on the bars in rotation number 2. They've done it just one time against Southern Utah back on January 27th, but we're going to start on the vault, and this is going to be Sophie Dudley, the sophomore from Plano, Texas, who will kick things off.
Last meet, she had a 9.85. She does that Yurchenko full, really big vault, really controlled landing, just a little bit under-rotated, so she hopped forward. But she's a super powerful gymnast, and that was a great way to start for the Cougars. You see here, nice block, a little bit chest forward, finished it strong.
So good start on BYU for the vault, and starting on the bars for Boise State, it'll be Talia Little.
Yes, and Talia is very familiar with this starting spot. She also was in the starting spot last season. Maloney back into a pack salto. Great handstand there on that half pirouette. Blind full right into a double back. Little step there, short and sweet, but great starting routine for the Broncos.
As you'll see here on this dismount, she only does a double tuck, so she has to do that combination blind full into it. Keeps it clean, just that little step on the landing.
So the junior for Rochester, New York gets things started for the Broncos, and we're back over to the vault. This is Madison Raisley Patton, who is ready, the freshman from Lenata, Texas.
And Madison gears up for her vault. She does one of those round off, full on back tuck off. So kind of similar to we saw what Alyssa did from Boise State. She did a really nice job at bringing that vault to her feet. Maybe a little bit crunched on the vault, as you'll see here. She does that round off, and then just a little bit of bent elbows on the vault, but really good work, and finished it out strong. Not much movement from her feet on that landing.
2 good vaults for BYU, a nice way for them to start out rotation number 2. And one of the seniors that Boise State is honoring tonight, getting ready on the bars, it's Erin Morden. She's a senior from La Quinta, California, and the energy on senior night always a little bit higher. Hope you went through this not that long ago. You know exactly what it's like to compete on senior night.
Yeah, it's always so fun, you know, bittersweet because it's only week 6. It's early in the season, but always a fun time to compete in front of that home crowd. And Erin, she's kind of been breaking through in this bar lineup. 2nd appearance here, 2nd up, and I know she's ready. She's just trying to keep herself calm, doesn't want to get overexcited.
She scored a 9.775 last weekend on her debut debut routine for bar. She's been exhibitioning a lot, and that is so important. That exhibition spot, never count them out, because as you see here, she's proved herself and she's making it into the lineup, and that's really special, especially on senior night.
You could see her coach, Yvonne Lexov, giving her some last-minute corrections before she approaches the bars. Just waiting to get ready.
And Morden, a walk-on for Boise State, competed just one time in her first 3 seasons with the Broncos, but breaking in the lineup, as you said, here in her senior year, and it's awesome. We talk about growth throughout the season, but how about growth throughout a career through the 4 years to get better and better every single week, every month, every year, and then finally have it all culminate to be going second on the bars for Boise State on senior night. There's no better feeling.
Absolutely, and I think there's a little bit of a misconception of when you get to college just to maintain your skills and coast through, but from speaking from experience at Boise State, the coaches they want girls that want to continue to learn. They want gymnasts with potential that have a drive to learn new things. I learned so many new skills when I came to Boise State, when I came to college, and it really helped me throughout my career. So it's not all about coming in and competing right off the bat. It's about learning the culture, really buying into the program, and Erin has totally done that this year. So she should be super proud of herself. I know her teammates are cheering her on. It's just hard to wait here. I know she's itching to get going, and here she goes.
And here she goes. She'll set up right into the high bar. Great handstand there into a blind change. To that piked Jaeger. Really good form on that. Great handstand on her shoot over. She'll set up here for her dismount to a full in. Little bit under rotated. Great routine for Erin, except for that dismount, just a little under rotated. As you saw, she took that step. But she had great form, good handstands, good release. We'll just see, yeah, she shot it out a little bit too early.
We transition straight over into the vaults, the specialist of the week, Sydney Benson.
And she does that Yurchenko full. As you can see, she definitely earned that specialist of the week with her good form, height and distance from the table, and then nearly a stick. I couldn't really see where her feet landed if they moved at all, but you'll be able to see right here. Good block off the table. Just maybe a little hop forward, nothing too crazy. She gets a lot of distance off the table, which is one of the things the judges are looking for. So awesome work from Sydney right there.
Well, after a 9-9 on the vault last week, Sydney Benson certainly looking to replicate that with the vault right there. Really quality stuff from BYU. I mean, this is exactly what BYU hoped for, to pick things up in rotation number 2 after having a little bit of difficulty on the bars, respond right away on the vault, and now Boise State has to try to answer with Elena McGovern, the sophomore from Richmond, Kentucky.
Yeah, and this is Elena's first year in the bar lineup. She gets ready to go, taking a big deep breath, collecting herself. As she'll set up here to a free hip. She'll do a big connection here. Ginger right down to the low bar. Like I mentioned earlier, getting those connections for that start value. Into a full out dismount. Little hop there for Elena, but great routine for the Broncos. She does a good job staying in that tuck position. Just that little tiny hop.
Elise Rollins on the vault.
And she does that similar vault that we saw a couple girls ago, that full on tuck off. Little shuffle of the feet, but great vault. You're seeing that vault become more common since it is a 10-0 start value. She does that round off, that full twist on. Maybe slight bend of the knees a little earlier than you'd like to see before she blocked off the table. Good vault from Elise right there.
So Elise finishes up the vault for BYU, rotation number 2, and goes right back to the bars for Boise State with Kylie Hamby. And it'll be a freshman for Boise State. What is really a young team, graduated quite a lot of seniors last year. They're going to graduate 5 this year, but lots of building blocks for the Broncos, and still plenty of weeks left for the freshmen and sophomores and even the juniors to get more experience. You look, they'll be at Southern Utah on Wednesday, then at Minnesota, at Alabama before Mountain Rim Conference comes around. So for Boise State, top-tier competition coming up in the next couple of weeks. All teams that are in the top 21 in the nation, and these are great opportunities for the Broncos to finish out at home and move on strong.
She'll start off here with a big ray right down to the low bar. That's shoot over. And those connections make the routine a little bit shorter. Big double layout dismount. You can see that smile on her face.
Lots of difficulty in that routine. Good to see from a freshman.
Just that little hop there. Something she can go back into the gym and perfect for sure.
Back over to the vault for Alex Mason.
And she does that 1.5. Unfortunately, she was a little bit high on the vault. And when you're doing such a challenging vault, if you don't get that normal big block off the table, it's really hard to make it onto your feet. So you'll see right here, she's a little high, didn't get that big, powerful block. Unfortunately, had to sit that one down. Tell she's not super happy about that.
For Boise State back on the bars, it'll be Courtney Blackson coming up. Blackson and Lopez to close things out. And talk about closers, that's what those two have been this season for the Broncos. Whenever they've needed big scores, they've turned to those two. It doesn't matter what apparatus it seems, they have been providing. And now opportunity to move further ahead. Blackson going to go up on the bars for Boise State.
Yeah, no doubt. They just both keep showing up time and time again, just doing what they know how to do best. And I'm excited to see what Courtney's going to do tonight. She had a big score last week, a 9-9, which is almost normal for her at this point in the lineup.
And you'll just see Courtney's a little bit more aggressive than some of the other gymnasts. You'll see in her high-flying releases right here.
Great handstand. Down to the low bar. Almost held it there for a second. She'll prep here for her release move. Called a Corkina. Gets the crowd growing every time. Ended it with a stick. Just same old Courtney doing what she does.
Yeah, she does it every single time. I mean, one of these days the judges got to give it to her. She's so aggressive with those handstands. You don't have to be that aggressive, but she just goes for it, all right? She has nothing to lose right here, and that's the sign of not only a great gymnast, but a confident one. She knows what she's doing.
That exclamation point right there for the stick.
Back on the vault with Kylie Quinto.
Also, thought she was doing the 1.5. She did a full. Looked really nice and clean. So a great job right there from Kylie to finish things strong. And remember, in gymnastics, 5 out of the 6 scores count, so they can drop that fall. And they got a pretty decent score going on vault. Just that little scoop back, but other than that, great form, good height and distance from the table.
Great second rotation for BYU on the vault. And for Boise State, mentioned that Blackson and Lopez are the closers. Well, now it is Emily Lopez's turn, the junior from Mission Viejo, California. And for Blackson, waiting to get her score still, as Emily Lopez, who had a 9.95 last week, will try and close things out with an exclamation point.
Yes, and she's notched that title not once, but 3 times. Great pike Jaeger right there. And Emily just has beautiful lines. You see that in her bar routine. Beautiful toe point. Big double layout, right for the stick.
Yeah, her teammates should be hyped up for that one. That was even built off of that amazing routine Courtney did. Emily just nailed it with that cherry on top, stick at the end. You'll see right here what Hope was talking about, that beautiful form she exhibits every single time on her events.
Lopez has been the specialist of the week on the bars in the Mountain Rim 3 times. Is this routine good enough for a 4th? We'll see the score when we come back. Rotation number 3 when we return.